We're the Boost Brothers.
The Boost Brothers. Snowbank's up to my shoulder.
We got 19.
All right, here we go once again. These two strokes love me. I am pinned going up this hill on the 850 turbo. Get to the top of the hill, boom! Adventures with the Sledaddicz. We're always breaking something.
Sledaddicz is brought to you by Team Vincent Motorsports, Bergstrom Carbides, Ledger Performance, Ultimax Belts, Stud Boy Studs, and Radio World.
How are we doing this morning?
We're doing just marvelous. Ready for the final hurrah?
I am ready for our final day, bro. It's been an awesome ride together so far.
Yeah, day 7, here we are. About 305k back to Riviere Du Loup.
Yeah.
We're gonna take the 35 trail, so instead of the 5 across through Gaspe, we're gonna go south a little bit, cut across, and then come back up into Riviere Du Loup. We're gonna have lunch in Biencourt at the ski hill there. I stopped there a couple years ago when I rode in from the Christmas Mountains and cut in for the day and then came back down. But it's all been groomed, minus like 15 kilometers of our day, so it should be mint.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna get our gear ready here, get the boys together, and then be on our way. Great spot to stay at the Hotel. We had a nice dinner last night, nice breakfast this morning. Jesse got me into, what was it called last night? The meal?
Tartare.
Tartare. We're real upscale on this one.
We had beef tartare,
Salmon tartare,
and duck tartare.
yeah, it was really good. There's Jason and Frank just getting their stuff together. Couple last minute things here and then we'll get going.
Time to get out of the Hotel. Man, is it cold this morning. Definitely a little bit of a road rash. Yeah, it's pretty shit. There's the trail. Right at the edge of the IGA.
Brother, what's that?
Bye-bye carbides. And back onto the trail. Thank God. Hanging a left here. Don't know what the trail name is because there's no number. Fresh groomed trail out of town. Just past the drag that was sitting in the bush there, so it might have had equipment failure, but it does look like everything was groomed, which is just fantastic for today. Woo! Tabletop. Oh, there's some cross-country skiers. I'm glad they're having fun. I'd be bored to death. Not enough stimulation for me. Another observation I've made so far on the Gaspe loop is there's not a single ice crossing. It's all bridges. And this is a full bridge. Groomer comes across this one.
Just sitting here outside of Matane, back on the trail. Everything's been groomed up beautifully. Heading on the 5 West now in St. Ulrich, this area is called. Beautiful crispy morning. It's got to be probably at least minus 10, I would think now. But you can see trails are groomed up perfectly. Our full run today, Jesse was saying he checked. Everything should be groomed up mint the whole way. We might have a 20k section or something like that that's not groomed. Last day ride, which is going to be about a 300k day, and certainly always sad when we have to leave and end these trips, but what a phenomenal trip to the Gaspesie it's been once again. Glad I could do it with these boys, a great group of guys, and we've had a lot of fun. Tabletop, hard pack, just perfect. You can see a couple of tracks been down this side, but nothing down the opposite side coming towards us. Definitely feel the wind today too. Across these open fields, it's blowing like crazy. So it definitely adds to the wind chill factor today. You can just feel the tips of my hands or my fingers. You can feel it. I really want to see Skidoo make better bat wings that fit over these guards instead of the muffs. Some bigger bat wings would be nice. Lots of people out today as it's a Saturday, and I'm sure we're going to see tons of riders today on the trails. You can see Jason up in front of me there on the boost, and all you see is those clouds of snow moving down the trail at warp speed. Awesome.
Beautiful in here, nice and twisty, and then it takes you back into the fields and then back into the bush. Parts of it are narrower than others. Leaving the Matane Club, coming into the Métis Club. This is the club that grooms that trail into the mountain that we did the other day, on day 1 actually, where we saw that tractor buried. And they groomed here too last night. Thank you, Club Matane de la Métis. Welcome to the main pipeline. This goes right to Mont Joly. We're going to be cutting off of it, but this trail goes right to Mont Joly, and then you get fast running all the way back to Riviere Du Loup, essentially through that pipeline. Nice mountains in the distance there. I think that's Mont Joly over there. In the bush it's perfect, and in the fields it's pretty good with some drifting. See how much snow they pushed over just last night. The storm was 5 days ago. They've groomed this trail a few times. A group of sleds coming that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll meet them on the other side of this field here. Great visibility. We're hooking a left here, so if we stay right, that will keep us on the 5, but now we're going to start making our way south so we can get to the 35. Now we're taking the 587. First gas stop of the day here. Oh, we'll have to wait. What are we doing over here, folks?
Ice.
Oh, we're breaking up ice. Oh my god, look at the other side. 4-stroke problems. Over here, we're the 2-stroke team and they're the 4-stroke team.
We're the Boost Brothers.
The Boost Brothers.
You guys can do this at night, okay? Dude, the ice buildup with no ability to melt it overnight is no good. I can, like 120, it wants to feel like it's going to blow up.
Suspension looks mint.
It does. That's a killer shock under there.
Those are some insane shocks.
Yeah, it's huge.
That's like the size of the shock of my side-by-side. No joke, it is.
Oh, now I can take a look at Mike's Bergstroms.
Oh, they're lucky.
All 3 are there, so I'm taking those. Pretty flat, but they're still there.
Quick little fuel stop here at the Ultramar. And I just cleared out some ice from underneath the links. I was getting some really bad vibration at kind of the higher speeds. So me and Frank were sort of taking a look underneath, and it looks like it's just ice buildup. So hoping that's going to get rid of all that vibration. It's kind of weird. I've actually never had that before, even on my last trip for 8 days. But the problem is we just haven't had any places where we could get the sleds to thaw out overnight. And so that snow and that ice, the wet snow, especially after the first day, just keeps building. Now I'm also pretty sure Frank was saying that the 4-strokes do tend to build more snow and ice up underneath the tunnel. Why, I'm not too sure, but the 146 track probably throws even more, so I'm assuming that might have something to do with it as well. But we'll see once I can get it out onto a nice stretch. Hopefully that clears it, but around 100, 110, 120 it was vibrating pretty good. I just gave it a good shot. It feels a bit better for sure. And I think it's allowing me to freewheel a little bit better too. Just less resistance overall. So while we stopped and I was banging out ice out of the tunnel, Jesse was also saying he wanted to see if he can tighten up his front track spring just a little bit more and see if we can give him a little less ski pressure. And he says it's working nicely. So we added about 20 turns, and one of the things that I'm going to make sure that we do this year, which I haven't done in a long time, is write down all of our settings for our preferences when it comes to suspension setups for these sleds. And then that way we can throw them out so you guys have some starting points to use if you're trying to get your sleds dialed in. Nice little suspension bridge here that we're rolling over. And we've seen tons of these. I think we've probably crossed at least half a dozen of these on our trip this week.
Make a left. Back on the 5 for a little bit. You can go. You're good. Make our way towards Cabano. Cabano. How's that Lynxie handling with the ice gone? Mike is back. I want to switch for a bit. I want to try that sled. I want you to see the steering is still heavy, but I think it's lighter than it was. Look at that thing. That's cool. Little 4-track vehicle. It feels like we're in a tunnel. Look at the snowbanks to my side. They're higher than my windshield on my sled. Crazy. And are we back on Groom Trail yet? Nope. Just stupendous riding. Nice and tight and twisty. Snowbanks up to my shoulder. Mike saying in my ear, he's like, you can't go off the trail, you're like a ping pong ball. Yeah, so we're making our way now down the 35. We'll eventually get into Biencourt, and just east of Biencourt is the ski hill, which is where we're gonna have lunch.
Well, yeah, it's a big bag, and that's when he's bouncing around, that's where it's coming from, right? So if you take 2 straps and you strap it over top like that, it's not going to move. Yeah. That's all you need to do, and then you don't risk, damaging the link caddy.
Full setup from it.
I'm so lazy, I don't even bring my bags in anymore. Oh. No. Last night I went into my
quality with someone trying to expand
I opened up my combo bag. I grabbed toiletries, underwear, shirt for dinner, jeans, and my slippers. Done.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just hopefully no one steals it on you.
Yeah. It's okay. They're just going to get a Sledaddicz hoodie and a couple pairs of boxers. and some dirty ones, too.
The dirty yellow one?
Yeah.
That might be worth a lot. They came from like...
With some skid marks on them?
She's definitely colder today.
It is.
Kind of like the perfect temperature. I'm not cold when I'm riding.
Yeah, perfect conditions for riding. Really good rip so far.
Trail's dom soft or cock stiff?
Cock stiff.
As Kenny would say.
Like a limp dick.
Like a wet pool noodle. In hindsight, I wouldn't have even needed to take a fuel caddy on this trip. Never used it.
Wow.
So that's Ledger's point. He says for the most part, there's always gas.
I never know. You might be helping someone else out.
But that's true also. Like you could literally not carry a fuel caddy.
Or
maybe
you could put your oil in the
one. The 4-liter one should be enough to get.
Or you could put your 4-liter. Or you could put your oil in there, and then you don't have to carry your oil thing from the side.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely a possibility.
So the other option is that smaller. I love the oil caddy, and in black,
and then
is
just
you lose
put
the
gas in
you
it.
lose the storage position. That's the problem.
Yeah.
They're not stackable.
Yeah.
I just sold that one last week.
The oil caddy?
Yeah, I had the black oil
Oil
caddy.
caddy can be useless.
I had one also.
Fill. The oil caddy's one fill. So you're
That's
taking
why
up a link spot for one fill. I can put a 17-liter bag on top and put 2 things of oil in that.
How many liters did you jam into that can?
17.
Of oil?
17 liters,
5
yeah.
jugs.
Five.
Just over 4 jugs.
So you didn't bring a single jug of oil on the machine. All's in the caddy.
All in the caddy.
That's perfect.
Mint. Exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's how we did it on the last big
Oil
one.
weighs more than a caddy of gas.
For sure it does.
Because oil probably weighs more.
For
right?
sure, it's got it's a higher viscosity.
Yeah, denser.
We got 19.
Switched up for a little bit. Mike's on the comp in front of me, and I'm on the links. We are just about 30 kilometers-ish from lunch in Biencourt at the ski hill. Just talking here about kind of the differences in these sleds and how they perform. And one of the big things you notice on the comp is with those RazRX skis, it's a bear to steer. Compared to this Lynx, which has the blade skis and same carbides, this sled's way lighter. And this is the 4-stroke. Yeah, we're gonna continue to work on it. We gotta make some adjustments. But yeah, interesting observation. Well, the RX skis handle really good in the soft pack. They're just a heavier ski overall because the keel is much more aggressive. But that 850 turbo motor, that's one thing we're sure about. It's dynamite. Oh, there's a nice right. Oh, we keep going right and right and right and right and now left. Awesome section of trail, this whole 35. A lot of field running, a lot of bush riding. It kind of has everything. Definitely not as fast of a ride west as the 5 is. The 5, a lot of it runs in the power line. It's a quick run, but we did that on day 1, so we wanted to do this today. And we kind of aren't going to touch the 5 at all until we get back into Riviere Du Loup. It's a completely different route today than day 1.
A few moments later.
You're changing it. You blew it.
Oh man.
Oh, crap.
Jesus. Yeah, I got it.
You're good, Jesse. Your bottom fan is not blown out.
All right, here we go once again. These 2 strokes love me.
Mike, record. Let's get this.
These 2 strokes love me.
Oh, you're recording. Mike flew up.
Here we go. Oh.
Did it crack anywhere?
No.
What is that? Mike, look what you do to me. You just ruin all my shit.
Maybe I'm getting hard on sleds these days.
Oh my god, there's pieces everywhere.
I still.
Oh, that's hot.
Oh, it's not good.
Oh yeah. It's not too bad, eh?
No.
We've had way worse.
Yeah.
Oh man, she cooked as soon as I was going up that hill. I was pinned. All right, guys, we're back on the trail. Just had a bit of a conundrum. Things happen, and you just got to know how to deal with them. But that was the first one of the trip. Obviously, I actually was thinking about it last night. I'm like, something's got to happen. Like, it can't just be perfection for 8 days riding. Sure enough, we swapped sleds for a bit because I wanted to ride the 850 turbo. Jesse wants the Lynx for a bit. So I get on the 850 turbo, I start settling in, I get into a groove. We're riding some really nice trees here today. And then I just start honking on it. And honking on it. And we're going up this hill, and I am pinned going up this hill on the 850 turbo. Get to the top of the hill, boom! Explosion. Belt, I knew right away, belt destroyed. So we took about 15 minutes to kind of clean it all up, get it together. We got a new Ultimax belt on that we put on. There's no damage whatsoever. But the weird thing is one of the sensors for the oil level went off. So obviously from, the belt exploding, it must have tapped a sensor or something and put it out of whack. So the machine was in limp mode for a bit. Anyway, Frank's with us, and he's really good with skidoos and stuff. He's a great mechanic. And basically, he said, pull out one of the fuses to
to reset the ECM. I think the ECM, or sorry, I think the ECU has its own fuse. So he said pull out the fuse and it should reset the whole system. So we're rolling now. Jesse's just breaking in the belt in front of me. Hands in the air. He's happy to be back on his comp, because for a second he thought he was going to have to take another sled for the rest of his trip, and he's off to New Brunswick for a couple of days with Jay. So we're back in business with the comp. Looks like we're going to break in this belt properly. One of the things with the Ultimax belts is you just want to make sure that you do that proper break-in, which is about 25-30k, kind of like a decent speed. Don't go ripping on it. We'll get it broken in, and then we're going to set it up proper height and stuff again once we get to lunch. And after that, we should be able to rip on it again. But all good in the hood. We're back and rolling.
Just turning on to continue on the 35 here, just 4 kilometers outside of Biencourt, where we're stopping for lunch. So I actually rode this trail in this section of Quebec a couple years ago, and when I was with the Intrepid Snowmobiler crew riding the Christmas Mountains in New Brunswick. We actually had one day at the beginning before we were starting our trip, so we rode up from Edmundston into this area and came here for lunch. And that was my first taste of Eastern Quebec riding. I had never ridden anywhere over here until then. But yeah, I knew this was good ripping. That's why I wanted to add it to our trip. Welcome to Mont Biencourt. Lunchtime?
Jay, you want to go snowboarding? Just finished up an awesome lunch. Great stop here. Whoops, almost bailed at Mont Biencourt. Nice little spot here for lunch. And this is it. We're on the final leg of our Gaspesie tour.
Well, as usual, we're stuffed. I had a popcorn chicken poutine that was delicious. And we've got 128 kilometers exactly to get us back to the Universel. Day 7 is halfway done. But it's been an absolute blast of a trip. Sledding with these guys is always awesome. Especially with Mike. Sledding with Mike from Sledaddicz is just a highlight for sure. And as you saw before, Mike rode my sled for a bit and ended up cooking my belt. And then it threw an engine light, put it into limp mode. Thank God we had Frank. He got it running again, and now it seems to be doing good. Still breaking in the belt another 5 kilometers or so, and that sled should be perfect. It needs to be, because it's coming with me to New Brunswick for the next 4 days. But yeah, just spending some time here on the X-Terrain 900. One of the first things I do notice is the lack of the 4-piston brake. This brake is definitely less responsive than what you get with the skidoos.
Well, we're back on the trail, and I'm back on the 850 turbo. We got her all dialed in again. Adventures with the Sledaddicz. We're always breaking something. And this time it was me, but the sled's working great now. We just did a quick belt adjustment there after lunch. Had a great Dimmy Club sandwich. That's my favorite for lunch in Quebec with a poutine. It was great. And I'm back on the turbo. We're just making our way now towards Riviere Du Loup. We've got about 120k ride to get back to the trucks, if we can find them. But yeah, it's actually been a really nice ride. Jesse's done a great job planning this trip. We've done some trails that I haven't done yet, and it's really been sensational riding today. I think we really lucked out. We got everything fresh groomed today for our last ride of the trip. It's been a wonderful 7 days with these guys. I've had such a blast. And like I said, me and Jesse have been sort of talking about this forever, and we've never made it out here together. So I'm just happy both of us finally got out here together, which is awesome. And I think he's pretty happy too to finally have gotten to ride the Gaspesie. He just said in my ear, yeah. Beautiful. Sun's out now. We're getting a nice crispy day here. and heading towards the 5 again. Seen lots of people out today. It's Saturday and they're all enjoying the trails. Tons of traffic in the area.
Couldn't have asked for a better last day. The sun is shining. Beautiful blue skies. Trails are freshly groomed overnight. Just perfect. Mike's having a blast up there, ripping the comp after he just grenaded the belt. One super pump. Filled up at the final gas stop of the day in Squatek. Saw that VMAX come down. That's an awesome sled. And you'll see we're just going to navigate down the road here, hop back on the lake. There's some sort of fishing festival going on. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of sleds and people on the lake. Dodged a few soft spots. Mike's stuck onto the comp. I gotta peel him off at some point. See all the people down here. Got cars on the lake. Side by side. Snowmobiles, trucks, trailers. You name it, they're here. This is the first staked trail on the lake that we've ridden this whole trip. Right here. Literally. Am I? It's not that way? Okay. Mike's riding my sled, so he has the GPS. Just basking in the heat for our last 60-kilometer rip back to Riviere Du Loup to end off my first ever ride through the Gaspe. Well, folks, we're into the Les Adventure Riviere Du Loup Club. 30 kilometers, and we are back at Hotel Universel. End of the trip is near. I've never seen this many sleds out in Quebec. We, last half an hour, probably seen 120 sleds. Every turn we come around, there's another group of 8 guys. So the trails are getting a little bit clapped, but it's more so just stutters than anything, so easy to ride over, not really any moguls yet. Weather's beautiful, and I can't wait to see if our trucks are completely screwed. So yeah, I didn't say it, but we're on the 544. We've been on that for a bit, and that's going to take us back into the back end of Riviere Du Loup, instead of taking the main 5 that most people take. I can only imagine if this is starting to get clapped, the 5 must be Mogul City. And just like that, the main rail bed coming back into town is mint. And not really rail bed, just logging road. Not a stutter, not nothing. Just beautiful. What?
I think your oil is low.
How do you know? Oh yeah, I know. It just popped on. Yeah. Okay, we're on the 85 for a bit. And that's going to take us right back in. It's been real, folks. It's been real. Just stopped at the Relais Les Adventurers in Riviere Du Loup. We have made it back. It's been an awesome day of riding. Just wrapping up our last leg of the day. And that's all she wrote, folks. It's been a doozy. Brought to you by Bell. Hotel Universel. We're just behind this group of about 65 sledders, making our way back into the Universel. They're clapping out the trail in front of us, which is nice. Yeah, Mike's talking to me in my ear, telling me we only saw about 460-ish sleds today, just under 500. But yeah, it was a busy afternoon, and 90% of that was after 1 o'clock. Just making our slow ride in, 4 kilometers till we're back at our snowed-in vehicles. Oh, what are we stopping here? Oh, we got some water! Oh yeah, that's slush. The final 1 kilometer of our Gaspesie tour. Nice, welcome back! It's been a week. Alright folks, welcome back to Hotel Universel, back in Riviere Du Loup. An unbelievable 7-day tour with my brothers. It's been a fantastic ride as always. This is one of the best trips you could ever possibly do, so make sure you get out here and do it at some point. As always, I hope you guys really enjoyed the daily video series.
And hopefully you picked up on some great trails to ride and some great places to stay. And not sure what's coming next yet as far as rides for me, but I'm sure it'll be something soon. Jesse's off to the Christmas Mountains tonight with Jason. They're going to spend a few days over there riding. Anyways, we're going to sign off. Thanks again for riding along with us. Appreciate all the support. I hope you guys are loving the content for the year. And we will see you on the next video. Thanks, everyone.
There's the snow, guys. Not too bad at all. We'll get right out of there. There we go, right out like a champ. Snow, no big deal. Like nothing.
Like a glove.
Like a glove. Look at that. Perfection. Yeah.